At what point during that entire show tonight on Monday Night Raw, at what point was the crowd at its maximum volume? At what point during the show was the crowd at their peak of excitement? In the main event, no matter if it's Seth Rollins, Dolph Ziggler, AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan, Samoa Joe, or anybody else that you look at on this roster that is a professional wrestler, then look at the rest of this fucking show. Ladies and gentlemen, professional wrestling is over. It is over in a good way. Now, I ask the question, why don't we see what we seen in the main event of tonight's show multiple times during a show every single fucking week? Is it that difficult? Is it that hard to give us what you gave us tonight in the main event multiple times a week on the same show, where we don't have to look to a Wednesday night to find actual fucking wrestling? Or do you want to just look back at last week's fucking show and have yourself wondering for the first 20 minutes of this fucking show, am I watching a rerun of Monday Night Raw? Did USA Network mistakenly air last week's show this week? If you watched the beginning of this show, I am sure 99% of you were thinking the same fucking thing. Everybody thought they were watching a rerun. WWE literally, and I mean this wholeheartedly, literally took last week's script and flipped names around. That's all they did. The creative geniuses in Stamford, Connecticut get by another lazy summer week. It's the first thing in my fucking notes for this show, man. We make fun of it every week. But WWE literally reused last week's script and changed names around. 1 week, you're teaming with somebody else? Don't worry about it. Who did you wrestle last week? You'll be teaming up with them this week. Another 6-woman tag? Why not? I don't believe this fucking show. Bobby Trashley and Roman Lames against the Revival again? That's a great idea. I don't know how these meetings are conducted, but by all means, they're getting paid the big bucks. I am not, so what the fuck do I know? AOP make their return to Monday Night Raw. Finally, Akam and Razor make their re-debut on Monday Night Raw. But lo and behold, WWE again drops the ball with 2 NXT talents. You'd think WWE would say, oh, look, it's Authors of Pain. They haven't been on television in 2 months. You'd think WWE would address their absence for close to 2 months with a creative storyline. How do we bring AOP back? Oh, that's right. We just have them mingle in the back with fucking Titus Catering. Instead of bringing them back and having them destroy what is an already broken tag team division, no, you want them to walk by Titus Catering because apparently Akam was displeased that the fucking green beans were not properly buttered. What was Dana Brooke taking? What type of notes was she taking? Was the butter unsalted or salted? Was it margarine or butter? Was it organic? These are the questions that we need answered. Apparently, those questions were more important than giving AOP a proper returning storyline to Monday Night Raw. But what the fuck do I know? I'm just some fucking idiot on YouTube. Speaking of tag teams, Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy still don't feel like a tag team. They want to tout and brag on commentary. Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt are undefeated as a tag team. Really now? Do you mind telling me who the fuck they wrestled? That being undefeated is such an accolade on Monday Night Raw in 2018 in a tag team division that is fucking worthless? I mean, for Christ's sake, you still got these guys coming out to a mashup of both of their theme songs. They don't feel like a fucking tag team. The only reason Bray Wyatt's with Matt Hardy is because you had no creative direction for Matt Hardy. All you wanted was the broken gimmick to kill it. You think that's gonna fucking succeed on its own? Then you got Bray Wyatt, the fucking lost soul of WWE. Wherever he lands, oh, let's put him. We don't give a fuck about him. Him and his fucking smoke and his lantern. Fuck out of here. Did you see JoJo tonight? She may be eating too much of Titus Catering. But I guess Bray Wyatt likes him plump. Instead of building the fucking B team up, I'm in some fucking mood tonight, don't get me started. Instead of building the B team up, that WWE pushed this team ahead of the Revival and AOP and Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler, right? You got Chad Gable floating around like a fucking loser. Where's Jason Jordan? I don't fucking know. The guy's been cleared for fucking 2 months now. You figure WWE Creative would say, oh, look, we got Chad Gable, who's one of the most talented guys on the fucking roster. He ain't doing shit. Let's pair him up with Jason Jordan. Let's get American Alpha back together. We got American Alpha and AOP and the Revival on the same fucking brand. You basically got fucking half of NXT's tag team division on Monday Night Raw. You think WWE would do something with that? Of course not. It takes too much brain cells to think of a logical fucking solution like that. But then, no, you got the B team. You got Axel and Dallas. Axel, who's having his father roll in his fucking grave every fucking week because this guy's coming out dressing like fucking Matt Hardy doing a terrible impersonation. Bo actually plays a better Bray Wyatt than Bray Wyatt plays a Bray Wyatt. Now the fucking B team. No, WWE, instead of building them as the Cinderella team, in my notes here, who is good and just out there to prove themselves by wrestling. By wrestling and winning. Not in fluky ways. Not in cheap ways like you've seen tonight. But by actually wrestling their opponents. These guys were sideline players for The Miz. You'd think they'd be out there wanting to fucking wrestle. It's a fucking comedy show. They're a legit comedy act, challenging for the Raw Tag Team titles at Extreme Rules against one half of a team that is the personification of tag team wrestling. And this is the best that you have, not only for your division and your titles, but for the B team. If that name doesn't tell you what WWE thinks of both men, this match and this feud should tell you what WWE not only thinks about their division, but their tag team championships. They are absolutely fucking worthless. Worthless. The lint in my fucking dryer is worth more than the tag team championships on Monday Night Raw. It's pathetic. No, but I'm the fucking asshole that wants to complain, bitch, and moan every fucking week. I don't know what the fuck you're watching, but I know what I'm watching. Maybe your IQ is less than fucking 30, but I know that this show sucks. I want to see Brian Zane say anything about this fucking show being better than SmackDown Live tomorrow. And I love me some Brian Zane. Don't get me wrong and don't misconstrue my words, clowns. Raw is awful. Really awful wrestling. You can't give me a 4-star match in the main event and then say, yeah, Raw was great. What about the other 15 fucking segments? Did they just miraculously just fucking show up on your screen and did you see 15 different Dolph Ziggler and Seth Rollins matches? Or did you watch the fucking bullshit with Braun Strowman overturning another car? Or Bobby Lashley struggling to find words to come out of his fucking mouth. Or another 6-woman tag. Speaking of the women, Alexa Bliss comes out. Now, we discussed this last week, that looking back at what they did at Money in the Bank, I see what WWE's going for. I am okay with it. But they have to tread a very thin line. They're not going to have Alexa Bliss go into a match with Ronda Rousey and be legit. Okay? Nobody in the ring with Ronda is going to be legit. I don't want to see fucking Alexa Bliss dumbing down Ronda with a fucking headlock. You know, this is SummerSlam, not Summer Scam, okay? Cut the shit. So putting Alexa in that place to be a great antagonist for Ronda Rousey, I'm all for it. Looking back after the fact. But, of course, WWE wants to create logic holes moving forward. Now, I don't know if you caught it, but I certainly am no fucking dummy. Alexa Bliss recaps what happened with Ronda Rousey last week. What happened last week? Did Ronda just present flowers to Alexa Bliss saying congratulations? Did she bake her a celebratory cake from Titus Catering with a nice little fucking pink bow right on top? Or did she put Alexa Bliss, did Ronda, through a table? Now I want you to think back to that segment last week with Stone Cold Ronda Rousey. Who was by Alexa Bliss's side? Nobody. She was there alone. Who was there when Alexa Bliss went into the Money in the Bank ladder match? No one. She was alone. Who was there celebrating with Alexa Bliss when she was the ultimate opportunist and took the title away from Nia Jax and Ronda Rousey, winning the championship at Money in the Bank? No one. She was alone. Can someone please tell me in creative why this week it was okay to send Mickie James out there to stand by Alexa Bliss, all buddy-buddy, as if she wasn't absent for the last 4 weeks? Does she pick her fucking days? Does she have 3 weeks on, 1 week off? Does she have fucking 4 weeks off, 1 week on? What's going on? Is she paid by the week? Is she paid by the hour? Is she paid in fucking cheesecake? Why wasn't she there last week after the table spot to at least assist in the entire segment? But this week, she's there. No reason given. They just want to laugh it up. Meanwhile, it's the first thing that I'm asking myself. Why is Mickie there with no explanation? But again, what the fuck do I know? I'm only an idiot on YouTube who talks wrestling. Attention to detail, clowns. Sure, these other fucking podcasters aren't going to mention that. They want to be all political and try to get a foot in the door with WWE. Fuck you! You want to pretend that the show is good when it's garbage. We're not talking NXT here. We're talking Raw. At least in NXT, something like this wouldn't have been overlooked. Now Vince McMahon's too busy looking at Alexa Bliss's ass when she's walking through the curtain. Nia Jax is another one. Here's another one. Another fucking sunshine and rainbow situation over here. She had the armbar applied to her at Money in the Bank. So now we're not selling Ronda Rousey's armbar, apparently. But this is WWE, right? Those things really don't matter in this world. Then you're taking away from the legitimacy of Ronda Rousey. Nia Jax had the armbar applied by Ronda and was on the verge of tapping out before Alexa Bliss cashed in the briefcase. Why isn't WWE selling the effects of the armbar? Why? Is the armbar now just like Natalya Sharpshooter? Is the armbar just like, I don't know, the bank statement? Or Bailey to belly? I don't understand that logic. WWE did not sell the effects of an armbar, and Nia this week was back after 1 week, and she comes out smiling as if she just hit the fucking Powerball. What are you smiling about? You're in the same arena assisting Natalya, who, by the way, is a Total Divas cast member, and you're going to the ring to assist your Total Divas cast member against the woman who took your title. Why are you smiling? This woman took money out of your pocket and off your paycheck. Why are you smiling? But again, what the fuck do I know? You want to continue to make me look like a fucking idiot? I'm going to call you out every single time. But to the fucking plebeians who watch this show, I guess that's okay for you. Again, like I said, your IQ is probably less than 20. Alexa Bliss is out there fucking getting one over on you. You want to fucking smile. Right? I don't believe this. I don't believe this shit. And now Nia, all of a sudden, is a babyface. 2 weeks ago, she was a heel. Now she's a fucking babyface. Who fucked up? Going into the match with Ronda, she's a heel. Now all of a sudden, she's back in Natalya against Alexa, and now she's a babyface again. See if I care going into Extreme Rules. The odds of me caring are 0. Just like the rating I give this fucking show every week, a 0. WWE puts Sasha Banks and Bailey in another 6-woman tag. Wow, man. The creative juices in WWE, man, they were on fucking full blast this week. Guys, what haven't we done on Monday Night Raw? I don't know, it's a women's evolution, or revolution, whatever the fuck they're coining it now. Both words are fucking cringe, by the way. Maybe a one-on-one match to showcase the real talent in the division. Maybe we'll give Ember Moon and Ruby Riott a chance to showcase their talent in a great women's match, and possibly set up a contender somewhere down the line. Oh, what about a 6-woman tag? Really now? Well, I haven't seen that one before. I don't believe this shit. This is the women's revolution. The women's revolution is a fucking joke. The women's revolution is a mockery. You want a real revolution, you go watch 3 words called NXT. Not this fucking shit. You want to see a revolution? You go watch Bianca Belair and NXT. You want a fucking revolution? You go watch Shayna Baszler. You want a fucking revolution? You go watch Kairi Sane. And everybody else that's fucking coming into NXT. You want a revolution? Go watch Toni Storm. Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live, a fucking revolution. Revolution up my fucking ass, revolution. If you look back at every Monday Night Raw during the year, I guarantee you there was a 6-woman tag on almost every fucking show in 2018. If that is not worrisome to you, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Here's the meat and potatoes of this shit. Now, this is not going to be all negative, because I actually have something nice to say about Roman Reigns for this portion of the show. Don't get used to it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry, wait a minute. Bobby Trashley is a promo disaster waiting to happen. I don't know who in this company would bestow this man a microphone and willingly trust this guy and have faith that he's going to go out there and cut a promo without a mistake. Most of these shows that I do, I am not 100% on everything. I don't articulate words the way I want all the time. I might mispronounce something, or I might go back and edit something. I don't really record all the way through for 100% of the show, but I certainly do that most of the time. I guarantee you, if you gave Bobby Lashley 10 promos, 9 of them would be god-awful. And 9 of them would be redos. I don't know what it is about this guy. He cannot articulate words. He sounds fucking forced, and he doesn't sound believable at all in addressing why he deserves a shot at Brock Lesnar. You could talk about all the MMA accolades in your 15-2 record all you want. If you are going to sound like a fucking prepubescent child on the microphone, I want nothing to do with you or Brock Lesnar in the same match. You are disgusting. This was awful. I don't give a fuck what this guy says. I don't care where he came from. I don't care what he has in his fucking repertoire that could beat Brock Lesnar. If you aren't going to make me believe by the words that come out of your mouth, then I want nothing to do with you, not only against Lesnar, but nothing to do with you on Monday Night Raw. I know I'm not the only one who feels this, because every time that he speaks, I feel like there's going to be a fucking volcanic eruption on Monday Night Raw. Roman Reigns, on the other hand. Now, neither of these men deserve jack shit. Both of these men deserve a fucking icy pop from the fucking ice cream man down the street when he sings his little jingle. That's all they deserve. These guys are talking about fucking universal title shots. You know? You want that soft serve, or do you want the fucking hard stuff? What do you want? That's all the choices that they should have. Universal Championship match? I mean, what are we doing here? We're giving out Universal Championship matches to Bobby fucking Lashley? What the fuck has this guy done in 2018 since WrestleMania? Please, I'd love someone to fucking fill me in. Wow, he beat Sami Zayn. Wow, he tagged with Braun Strowman. Because you're Bobby Lashley and you're an MMA fighter, the fact that you get to step foot in WWE, seemingly you get to pick and choose when you want and who you want, named Brock Lesnar. Roman Reigns, on the other hand, what the fuck has this guy done to get another shot at Brock Lesnar? Realistically. Oh, but JD, this is a scripted show, man. No, they're making you look like a blithering clown. That's what they're doing. Wow, Roman Reigns beat Jinder Mahal. That's like Titus Catering having a fucking hot dog contest and you came in second place. Good job, bro. You get the bronze pin. Now, beating Jinder Mahal is an accolade to get a shot at Brock Lesnar. This guy lost at WrestleMania clean. This guy lost at the greatest Royal Rumble. I don't give a fuck how you spin it, and whichever way you want to fucking spin it, the guy lost. They didn't go back to it. They didn't make a big deal of it. The guy fucking lost. Now you're going to give us the same match in New York City at SummerSlam for what? Just to get your fucking dick hard? To see Roman Reigns in one of the most vile, evil cities in North America? As your man that nobody wants wins the Universal Championship? That means less to me than any title in the wrestling world. Garbage. But I will say one thing about Roman Reigns. On the other hand, when he spoke to Bobby Lashley, I actually believed the words out of Roman Reigns' mouth more so than Bobby Lashley. I'm sick to my fucking stomach over how this guy's being held down. I'm sick to my fucking stomach how he's got to reiterate, oh, I main evented 4 WrestleManias in a row, and I'm looking to make it 5. You don't need to look that hard, Mr. Reigns. All you have to do is have Vince McMahon bend over, you unzip your pants, and boom, you got yourself a 5th WrestleMania main event. It ain't that difficult. Don't worry about it. You got yourself lined up till fucking WrestleMania 56 if you want. You don't need to tell me. I'm sick of how he's being held down. He wants to main event 4 WrestleManias in a row, but then he wants me to believe that management is holding him down. Who the fuck put him in 4 WrestleMania main event? Did he get himself there? Did he book his own fucking matches? Logic gaps. Now, but I'm supposed to sit here and just quietly sit by, idly, and just accept everything that they give me because it's a television program and I'm supposed to sound like a disenchanted fucking idiot watching your show, right? But he has done less than Lashley at this point. Lashley has done nothing. These are two peas in a proverbial pod, Lashley and Roman Reigns. Neither deserve a shot, but at least Roman Reigns, listening to this guy speak, made me believe with the tone in his voice, with the bass in his voice, and the way he delivered his promo, that he is more serious about Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar than Lashley is about Lashley and Brock Lesnar. Simple as that. Was it a cringeworthy segment? Of course. Then WWE has the Revival fucking come out and do the same shit that they did last week. But this time, the ending result was beneficial for the Revival, unlike last week, which we'll talk about when we go over the results of this show. WWE, this should come as a shock to nobody, has no creativity. None. Zero. Just like Bobby Lashley has no charisma, WWE has no creativity. Okay? Bayley and Sasha Banks team up again with Ember Moon. Now, Ember didn't factor into anything. Ember was there as an innocent bystander to all of this. WWE could have had Bayley, instead of giving us another 6-woman tag, if you wanted to announce a 6-woman tag and then dump it before it even happened, before the bell rang, I would have been okay with that. They could have had Bayley throw the match out of anger. Sasha could have started it against Ruby Riott or whoever the fuck she started it against. Bayley could just come on into the ring and beat down her own partner so that the match doesn't even get started. Boom, done. You get it out of the fucking way. So, she would beat down Sasha Banks out of anger for management teaming them up again. And beat down Sasha with everybody else taking a back seat. KFC Morgan, whatever the fuck it is, Sarah Logan, KFC Logan, right? You might as well throw fucking Liv Morgan into the KFC clan too because she's fucking awful. Looks like she's been eating too many chicken wings too. Ruby Riott, throw them into the fucking back seat, get them away. Ember Moon takes a back seat. It's all about Bayley and Sasha Banks. Now, WWE decides to turn Bayley, of all people, heel. But it's not going to come off that way in San Diego tonight because Bayley is from California. So people obviously loved Bayley showing aggression because we haven't seen Bayley have any aggression at all since being on the main roster. This could be a detrimental fucking thing for WWE in this storyline. They have killed Bayley so much that now she's finally showing aggression and people are going to cheer her. What heel turn will there be if Bayley, who has been fucking garbage for years on the main roster, now you're finally giving her a set of balls? Something that should have been done many, many months ago. Is it going to work for WWE? This is now the tale that we have to sit through. This is the story we're going to keep our eyes on and a story we're going to keep under the microscope. Is Bayley really going to turn heel with a new aggression? Because she hasn't had any of that and people have wanted to see that for so long. Now, if WWE is really sticking it out with Bayley turning heel over a Sasha Banks, this is a fucking mistake already. You mean to tell me, out of the two people that you chose to turn heel, you're going to choose the one who is really, in real life, the girl next door, lovable girl who loves to hug and be sweet and won't hurt a fucking ant. That's the one you want to turn heel. You know, this ain't a Neville. This ain't a Sami Zayn. This ain't anything like that. This is fucking Bayley we're talking about. I mean, this woman would fucking cry if her teddy bear had a fucking rip down the side with the cotton coming out of it. Are you fucking kidding me? This is who you want to turn heel. Instead of Sasha Banks, who back in NXT had chants of "you are ratchet," Instead of a Sasha Banks who legitimately, every time you fucking talk to her when she's on a podcast, hates everybody. So WWE is doing the opposite of what should be, and they're making a mistake going forward, knowing that it's a mistake. Why aren't you playing to their strengths? Bayley is a babyface. Sasha is a bitch. Sasha should be heel. Bayley should be a babyface. Now, what are they going to do with Bayley as a heel? WWE's bright idea is to give them counseling, or give her counseling. So she attacks Sasha Banks, and then she wants to go to Kurt Angle, and Kurt Angle yells at her, saying that you need counseling. I'm sending you to a counselor next week. Why? If you don't go, you're fired. I think the people who need counseling are the fucking people that write this show. Never mind Bayley. Who the fuck wrote this shit? A heel. A heel. Who is supposed to fucking do nasty, terrible things. You're sending to counseling? No, but Vince McMahon wants to fire a fucking writer for writing a big Cash promo that wasn't as bad as this. But you're allowing this to happen with a heel going to counseling. So what is the point of a heel turn? I ask you again, what is the point of a heel turn? Bayley needs a complete transformation. And I'm going to throw an analogy at you because I'm an old school head that fits perfectly to what Bayley needs to do. You ever watch the episode of Boy Meets World where Eric Matthews is working for his father at the sports shop or the fishing shop or the camping store that he owned, that he bought, right? There's a girl outside playing guitar who's singing all these happy, sunshine, flowery songs about how she loves nature and how she loves life and how she loves everybody. Eric Matthews falls in love with this woman, goes out on a few dates, realizes that this woman is a fucking psychopath and that I don't want to be in this situation anymore because it's making me sick to my stomach. So what does the woman do? She realizes that Eric dumped her, and instead of playing butterflies and sunshine-filled songs about love and nature and how she loves everybody, the next time Eric seen her outside the store, she was playing hard rock, and she was playing nasty songs on her acoustic guitar, and she was writing hateful lyrics, and she was just sitting there with jet black hair, who was just fucking feeling all the hate. That's what Bayley needs to do. That is the vision I see for Bayley. Now, since you already pulled the trigger on a premature error in a heel turn for Bayley. If Bayley does not come back spewing hate and everything the opposite of what she's doing with jet black fucking hair, then this, my friends, is a fucking failure. And I don't want to hear anybody else talk about, oh, JD, it could work, blah, blah, blah. I'll give it a week. If WWE goes with Bayley into counseling and they try to reconcile her with Sasha Banks, then this was a waste of everybody's fucking time. Complete trash. So I don't know what anybody else is thinking, but that is the perfect analogy for Bayley on Monday Night Raw. Moving on here, man. We're going to go over the results of this fucking show because this show was fucking awful. And I don't really want to be sitting here anymore because this show offered nothing. Nothing outside of the main event, which I'm going to start off with because it was the best part of the fucking show. What we got with Dolph Ziggler and Seth Rollins was probably one of the best matches on main roster television this year. Is it going to be good enough to fit into my top 10 at the end of the year? We'll see. We got 6 months left to go. 5.5 months left to go. Less than that. We did find out what WWE is going with towards SummerSlam. And it won't be Seth Rollins in the main event of SummerSlam against Brock Lesnar. Because the man himself, Drew McIntyre, interfered towards the end of this match and helped Dolph Ziggler retain the Intercontinental title. Now, I don't understand why WWE felt the need to bring Roman Reigns out in that situation. The only thing I can think of is WWE wanted Roman to go out there at that point because they knew it was going to be pro anybody that came out there because it was a great match. Which, it helped Roman get cheers, but, I mean, it's too little too late. Whatever the fuck they do is not going to help Roman in the long run. So, they did it, as a desperation attempt, because everybody was fucking just on an incredible emotional high with the great match. So they figured, oh, let's send Roman out there. There's no way he could be booed in that situation. That's number one. Number two, this merely will be a layover for the next couple of weeks until we get to Rollins and Ziggler at Extreme Rules in some type of stipulation match. What type of stipulation match that is, I don't know. So I'm assuming we'll get Reigns and Rollins next week versus Ziggler and McIntyre in the main event. And then we'll probably get Reigns versus McIntyre in a one-on-one match with Rollins and Ziggler in their respective corners. And then we'll get to Extreme Rules. But one thing that we found out tonight is that, Kurt Angle is not giving us a multi-man match. Apparently, that's what he said. So it will probably be Reigns versus Lashley. My God, how exciting to find out who fights Brock Lesnar. And B, Rollins is not going to be in the main event. We're going to get Rollins continuing his chase of the Intercontinental title. I don't know how that sits well with you guys, but regardless of it, the ending ruined what could have been an easy 4+ star match, and it kind of downgraded it a little bit. But it was still a main event on Monday Night Raw that was worthy of a main event. And it was for the Intercontinental Championship, which is only good. Ziggler still has it. Ziggler never lost it. I'll tell you who lost it. WWE lost it in the last fucking 5 to 6 years pushing this guy. I don't know how you can look at Dolph Ziggler and the performances that this guy does, night in and night out, on shit shows like this, and not want to push this guy to the fucking heavens. This guy is a Mr. Perfect, HBK, fucking, I don't know, modern day. How you can't see that in him, I mean, I don't understand. We've been talking about this for fucking years now, and the guy hasn't lost a beat. The guy still is probably top 5 in that entire company in the middle of that ring, and they won't push him. And Rollins, I mean, what more could we say about Rollins? They want to give us Lashley and Reigns in the main event of SummerSlam. Meanwhile, Seth Rollins is here, and he's the most over act in the fucking company. How do you watch that match tonight and say, yeah, we'll go with Reigns, and we'll go with Lashley in the main event? Are you fucking kidding me? Whoever thinks Lashley and Reigns over Rollins, please find a new fucking hobby and quit watching. Quit watching. This show opened up with the Revival and them coming out to just, again, speak about top guys. They want top guys. The Revival have been top guys. They just have another chance to be top guys. And what is all this shit? These fucking websites clickbaiting about Lesnar's contract negotiations stalling SummerSlam and how the negotiations have hit a wall, reporting it as a real news. Assholes! Lesnar is signed already through SummerSlam. If you think Lesnar's not going to be at SummerSlam, you must be some of the people with the 20 IQ I was talking about. WWE Twitter and WWE.com reporting news and then people turning it around as if it's legit fucking news. Are you fucking serious? I mean, if you reported anything of that nature, you are a fucking clown. And nobody should be taking you seriously. Nobody. This match was actually pretty decent. Not the fact that it was a decent tag team match, but I love the ending. I love the ending, man. Complete fucking surprise that the Revival got the win here. So, Reigns talks some trash and readies for a spear. Lashley distracts him. They go back and forth. Reigns isn't happy. Dawson takes an advantage and runs into Lashley to knock him off the apron. Reigns hits the ropes, hits a spear on Dawson, and he forgets who the legal man is. So Dash, who was the legal man, takes advantage after the spear to Dawson, rolls him up. Reigns was about to cover him, and he gets pinned by Dash Wilder, and the Revival beat Reigns and Lashley in a tag team match, and the crowd erupted. Now, if that doesn't kickstart a Revival fucking run, I don't know what will. Push these guys. WWE could turn around the tag team division with one fell swoop. You got AOP, you got the Revival, and you got Jason Jordan and Chad Gable waiting to be brought back together to reform American Alpha. Do something about it. I don't understand why WWE is taking this long to come up with a solution when the solution is staring them right in the fucking face. Matt Hardy versus Curtis Axel. This one was a fluky ending. Bell rings, they go at it. Matt ends up taking it to the corner, working over Axel. Matt runs into Boots in the corner. They go to the top rope. Matt Hardy slips. They actually played it off as he slipped off the second turnbuckle. Curtis Axel turns it into a crossbody off the second turnbuckle, and he pins Matt Hardy in a fluke-like manner. After the match, B-Team is celebrating. Matt Hardy says, "The fluky victory that you guys got was absolutely wonderful!" And they are actually helping them cheer on the B-Team. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but apparently the tag team division is a joke, just like I thought. Bayley is shown backstage with Alicia Fox, who makes her return to WWE. Was she used on this fucking show? Thank fucking Christ, not. Who cares? Authors of Pain versus Rich and Rex Gibson. These guys legitimately look like two Mexican chefs from Titus Catering. They were wearing the Mexican colors. They were out there 5'1", and they got their ass fucking handed to them. They got the last chapter done to them after the match. Titus Catering comes out and starts helping these guys up. They start helping Rich and Rex Gibson up after they get their ass kicked by Authors of Pain. Now, did Titus O'Neil send out his top Mexican executive chefs to get their ass kicked because he didn't want to do it with Mr. Apollo Crews? Or did he get the tortillas wrong? He used flour instead of corn. I don't know. Maybe he was punishing them for not using pinto beans instead of black beans. I don't fucking know. They got their ass kicked. Rich and Rex Gibson. Authors of Pain. 2-time NXT Tag Team Champions. And they got Rich and Rex Gibson. That's the best you got for them? Jesus fucking Christ, man. My goodness, the creative on this team is fucking embarrassing. Kurt Angle and Baron Corbin are backstage. Oh, Constable Corbin. Finn Balor comes in. I'm going to throw this out there, and if you don't like it, you could fucking kiss my ass. Finn Balor is trash. His persona is garbage on this show. I miss NXT Finn Balor. What happened to my Finn Balor that used to fucking wave chainsaws around? What happened to my Finn Balor that came out dressed as Jack the fucking Ripper? Now we got Smiley Finn. Smiley Finn over here on Monday Night Raw. Wearing colorful fucking shirts. I mean, he's a fucking comedy act on Monday Night Raw. No demon. Nothing. Even his entrance is fucking bored. What the fuck did they do to this guy? I know what they did. They cut his balls off like fucking, Val Venus. Fuck out of here. Anyway, they're backstage. Not thrilled with the multi-man match being nixed. I'm not even sure if it is completely nixed. I think WWE don't even know what the fuck they're doing. He wants a shot at the Universal title or a chance to get it back because he hasn't had one. Corbin knocks Balor, and Balor picks on his vest, saying that he worked at TGI Fridays with the getup that he was wearing. So Braun Strowman walks in with his Money in the Bank briefcase. Braun believes he's been too hard on Kevin Owens and feels a little bad about throwing him off ladders and through walls. Braun says he wants to try and be Owens' friend now, and he wants to be his tag team partner tonight. Angle asks if Braun has any opponents in mind and says, what about these two? So it's going to be Bala and Corbin versus Braun Strowman and Kevin Owens. Now last week, Finn Balor was on the opposite team, aside from Corbin. So this week they're teaming up. What did I tell you? WWE used the same script as last week and just switched the fucking members of the teams. Ooh. Such creative geniuses over there in Stamford, Connecticut. Balor takes another shot at Corbin's vest, saying, check, please. Because, he works at TGI Fridays. Speaking of which, I'll take some fucking loaded potato skins and some mozzarella sticks, please. And a Guinness. Yeah, thank you. Make sure the glass is clean, too. Because when you go to Fridays, it smells and it tastes like fucking copper when they got the glass sitting there. You ever go to a fucking bar and the glass is dirty and they start pouring beer? I went to a bar one time and there was lipstick on the ring of the glass. I look at the fucking guy. He poured my Guinness, right? He serves it in front of me like this. And I look at it before I grab it. I'm like, whoa! What is this over here? I got lipstick on my fucking Guinness! You fucking asshole! Anyway. Natalya versus Alexa Bliss. Ooh, the champion lost. The referee gets distracted by catching Mickey trying to interfere. This allows Jax to trip Bliss on the outside while she's smiling. Natalya keeps control, applies the sharpshooter, and Bliss taps out. After the match, Jax and Natalya are celebrating, smiling. Kathy Kelly is backstage with Rollins about where his mind is going into the rematch. No excuses, he says. He issued an open challenge last week and lost. And he had 7 days to reflect on beating Ziggler, and tonight he gets his title back. During the Mahal and Sunil Singh were backstage. Man, I thought we were going to get away with having a Monday Night Raw without this fucking loser. They're doing a photo shoot because apparently that's going to sell fucking magazines. Jinder Mahal as the cover boy. Good job there, WWE. So Ruby Riott had the idea that everybody in the arena had. She takes the camera and she fucking destroys the photographer's camera. Good on you, Miss Riott. I'm liking you more and more as the weeks go on. Riott Squad beat Ember Moon, Sasha Banks, and Bayley. We already discussed what happened there. Completely a throwaway match. Nothing happened here. Nothing of importance happens on these shows. It's just filler for 15 segments, and then you're lucky we get one fucking segment, which we had to wait all the way till 10:30 to get. What a show, man. Holy shit. No Way Jose versus Mojo Rowley. And this show was 3 hours. And this is the shit that we're getting in hour 3. So No Way Jose is out there with his conga line. I don't know who finds this shit still entertaining. I was over after week 2. So we get Mojo Rowley coming out and asks Jose if he wants a rematch from last week. Mojo says he's embarrassed to be out here and takes shots at fans and Jose, saying he hasn't earned the right to step in a WWE ring. So Mojo goes to enter the ring, but he stops and disses, I believe his name was Tony, in the conga line. He's like, is this what you want your WWE career to be? You're dressed as a hamburger. Why don't you tell that to Braun Strowman, who was part of Adam Rose's fucking express bus? Why don't you go ask him that and see where he is now? So if Tony wants to dress as a fucking hamburger, Mr. Rowley, he's got one step ahead of you, because look at where Strowman was and look at where you've been for the last 5 years. What the fuck have you done? And does anybody have more fucking as worse theme music as Mojo Rowley? That shit is fucking awful. I don't know who the fuck came up with that shit, but my God, he needs new theme music if anybody wants to take this fucking guy seriously. So Mojo says, answer the question. Oh, Todd was his name, not Tony. Todd, I'm sorry. Todd was his name. So he says, answer the question, Todd. And then Jose comes over here and he starts getting in Mojo's face. Why not? Why not? Why not the rematch? Mojo gives him a right hand, knocks him out, and he walks away. Are we really pushing Mojo Rowley in 2018? Yet you're not using Chad Gable? And Jason Jordan is cleared and he's not on the show yet? Where the not that I give a shit because he's fucking terrible. This is the shit that we're seeing instead of building and correcting Bobby Roode's character, right? Where the fuck was Elias? Moving on here, Braun Strowman and Kevin Owens versus Finn Balor and Baron Corbin. This one really didn't do much for me. The shit that happened after the match was the most entertaining part of the match. Braun Strowman does his little deal where he runs around, he shoulder tackles Finn Balor, he shoulder tackles Baron Corbin. Kevin Owens does the same thing. Braun Strowman wants him to do the same fucking thing, so he runs over Finn Balor. He does the shoulder tackle to Finn Balor, but then he gets to Baron Corbin and he gets clotheslined for his efforts. Kevin Owens was clotheslined by Baron Corbin. So they end up winning the match anyway, does Owens and Corbin. Owens and Strowman. Corbin and Balor brawl up the ramp now, and the referee counts. Braun Strowman and Kevin Owens are in the ring counting along with the fans, and they win by countout. So Kevin Owens puts his hands on Braun Strowman. Yeah, we won it. Slapping him on the chest, right? And Braun Strowman's standing there like, what the fuck are you doing? Are you really touching me? So Kevin Owens goes to shake his hand, and Braun Strowman just stands there fucking staring a hole through him. So Kevin Owens runs away. He runs up the ramp, runs to the back. He goes to the concierge. He hides in the fucking locker room. Braun Strowman comes looking for him. He asks some goon who works concessions, where's Kevin Owens? And the guy at concessions is like, oh, who's that? I don't know who that is. The guy with the bowling ball underneath his shirt. Still making fun of Kevin Owens' weight in 2018. Is this a thing? Anyway, Kevin Owens is by valet. He's asking for his car keys. Give me my car keys. Give me my car keys. And the guy is like, I don't have your car keys. This guy has your car keys. Braun Strowman says, are you looking for these? Here's your car keys. But I don't think they're going to work. Your car is over there. And I'm expecting to see it on a fucking crane or something. The fucking car's flipped over, smoking. And people are going over there. Valet guys are going over there fucking using a fire extinguisher on the car. That was the best part of the match. Whatever happened with Owens and Strowman at the end of this was the best part of the match. It looks like the rumors could be true that we're getting Owens and Strowman inside of a steel cage at Extreme Rules. And we get Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler in the main event. This was a great match. Great match. I don't know what else to say about it. This was really, really fucking good, man. Towards the end of this thing, Rollins nails a picture-perfect frog splash. Ziggler kicks out at 2. Rollins gets up, goes for the stomp. I thought he was calling it the blackout. Why does Michael Cole call it the stomp? The fuck is that? Can you be any less creative? Come up with a fucking name for it. The stomp. Fans chant, burn it down. He drops Ziggler but misses the stomp. Rollins counters the zigzag. They trade roll-ups back and forth just like the week before where Rollins lost. Ziggler ends up hitting the zigzag for a very close near fall. Both superstars right now are down. Ziggler gets up first, pushes Rollins into the corner. Ziggler takes Rollins to the top, slow to get up. They attempted or teased a superplex, did Rollins. Anyway, not Ziggler. Rollins on the outside. Flips it back into the ring. Superplex off the top rope. He does the Falcon's Arrow. And Ziggler blocks that. Rollins repositions on the... Actually, no, I'm sorry. Rollins repositions the superplex. Goes for the superplex. He nails it. Hits the Falcon's Arrow for a 2 count. Then McIntyre comes in. And he interferes in the match. Now, McIntyre was thrown out earlier in the match. Referee said, fuck this shit. Rollins, behind the referee's back, was attacked by McIntyre. McIntyre was thrown out. And then McIntyre comes back at the end of the match and saves Ziggler's title in the climax of the match. After the bell, McIntyre is beating the shit out of Rollins. Roman Reigns comes out, spears Ziggler, and then brawls with McIntyre, and Superman punches him out of the ring, and Rollins' music hits to close Monday Night Raw, with Reigns, the hero, saving his friend from a 2-on-1 beatdown. which, like I said before, I think we'll get Reigns and Rollins versus McIntyre and Ziggler next week on Monday Night Raw. And that is your show. Trash. Completely garbage. Now, SmackDown's tomorrow. Hopefully we get something better because we have some interesting storylines going on. We got Daniel Bryan and the Bludgeon Brothers. We got AJ and Rusev. Where's Samoa Joe going to be? Shinsuke and Hardy for the U.S. title. Should be a good episode of SmackDown Live. So we'll see what happens with that. I did watch the United Kingdom Championship Tournament. A review is already done. So that will be up by 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. If you guys want my thoughts on night 1 of the UK tournament. I did watch it. I'm going to watch night 2 tomorrow, and then you're going to get the review for night 2 on Wednesday, and then we're going to nightcap it with NXT on Wednesday night. That's your fucking calendar. Don't at me, and I'm going to sleep. Thank you guys so very much. Follow me on Twitter at JDFROMNY206. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for notifications. Tell your friend or anybody that likes professional wrestling that they need to keep their eyes and ears here and nowhere else. I'm getting out of here, guys. Thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow for the UK Night 1 review and then SmackDown Live. And then we'll do the same on Wednesday with Night 2 and then NXT. I'll talk to you guys later.